I am hoping that we get some nice gentle soaking rains and not any gully washers. It's going to wash out all this hard work that we've done. I think it's still going to wash if you have, you know, 2 inches in an hour or some big heavy rainstorms, but I think this should take care of 95% of the storms that used to wash it out.
3 days later.
That was just round 1. Round 2 is coming in next. You can see it coming over there. Looks pretty ominous. Well, the new ditch is working. I have a culvert here, but clearly that culvert is completely washed out right now. That's an 8-inch pipe, and it's completely maxed out. That was a heck of a rainstorm we got. And it looks like we're gonna have to redo the driveway again. Like I said, not much you can do when you get that much rain all at one time, except for blacktop it or concrete it. Well, we were able to keep a large portion of this section from washing with these hay bales we put here. At least slowed the water down. I don't see too bad of wash ruts, maybe just a little bit here on the outer edges where it looks like it's trying to sneak around the hay bales. But over here we got some bigger problems. I did put 2 over here to try to divert that water from rushing down through here, but you can see it's all the way up to my ankles in here, and it's just flowing every which way around. And as you look down there, it's pooling, washing all the straw away and all of our grass seeds. So we're gonna have some rework to do here. That's the way it goes, right? Go 2 years without any kind of rainstorm like this, and as soon as we get everything seeded and all buttoned back up, we get 2 of them in a week. The good news is the majority of our grass seed is unaffected. Pretty much this whole section here is unaffected. It's really just that section right over there that we'll have to redo. So it shouldn't be too bad. All right, so it is the next day. That storm ended up putting down about 2.5 inches of rain, not nearly as bad as the one last week, but still enough to give us some problems. And you can see the root cause of all of our problems. The driveway is still completely intact up to this point right here. We put this ditch on the side of the driveway, and all of that shale, we had so much water coming down through here, just piled right up in front of the culvert here. The culvert is still open and draining water. And part of the problem is that's not a big enough culvert. That was just leftover standpipe material we had from when we built the original pond. It's 8-inch SDR. We probably need at least a 12 or 16-inch culvert going from there to the other side of the driveway. But, you know, it started depositing all this shale sitting here, and then at that point it just started getting overrun, running down this side of the driveway. And once it gets back on the driveway, game over. Just started carving and cutting and washing the rest of it out. Now, because we did put a bank on this, any water that actually got on the driveway did come right over here to this ditch, which is exactly what we wanted. But as you can see, a lot of that water was spilling up over the top, getting on the side of the driveway, and then carving down here. And that's where all of our damage came from. And we've got, yet again, another big rut on the side of the driveway. It's not as bad as it was last time. There's just kind of one spot right here, right down through the center. So it won't take long to get it fixed back up, but no better time than the present. Might as well do it right now. One thing I want to get done before I get the equipment out and start working on the driveway is get some pond dye in this pond now that we've got some water in here. Plus this will give you a good idea of about where the water level is. We've gotten close to 7 inches of rain this week. So we'll get some pond dye in here and then we'll take you down and show you the new pond. It's basically almost all full. And I wasn't planning on putting pond dye in that pond, but we're having some algae problems in that one within the first week, so I thought might as well go ahead and get some dye in that too. Plus I do like the way it looks. Certainly a lot better than looking at this muddy brown chocolate milk out here. And here is your shot of the lower pond, essentially completely full. So we are ready to get some kind of pump in here to get that water up to the upper pond and get that one full. I'll be really curious to see what happens with this pond with it full now. Because I know when it was, you know, maybe a quarter of the way full, it was still filling up with groundwater every single day. But now that it is, you know, up to the water's edge up there, I'll be curious to see what the water level does. If it's able to maintain or if it drops a little bit, kind of see where it finds equilibrium at. All right, now that we got that pond dye in there, let's get back in the saddle of the equipment and get this culvert cleaned back out. I swear I've got deja vu. I feel like we just did this. Plan here is I'm gonna get all this shale out of the buildup in front of the culvert there and take it back up where it got washed out from, which is gonna be up here in the ditch a little bit. Basically, we'll just start up here and just start sprinkling it back in, and then we'll come back in and try to pound this all back in. There's the culvert. Well, no wonder it got overrun. Pretty much packed full. I bet out of that 8-inch pipe, only 2 or 3 inches of it was open. And of course, as you can tell, it started raining again. Luckily today we're not getting any downpours. This is actually a nice gentle soaking rain. But that's the nice thing about having the cab on the excavator is I can come out here and still do work even in this. And this is the discharge side of that culvert pipe. And clearly it was plugged on the inlet side as well as the outflow side. I can't even see the outflow side here, but I want to get a lot of this material out and get this shaped back up too. There it is. Tell you what, this tilt bucket is awesome. You know how hard this would be to do without a tilt bucket? I think part of the problem too is I had very minimal fall coming out of this discharge pipe, so I want to make sure I've got this ditched and make sure that water has plenty of room to run away from that pipe. so we got the driveway all whipped back into shape yet again. And one thing I think I have going in my favor this time is the fact that all the material was still wet. So you can see I came in here with my pickup truck and ran over it about 20 or 30 times to get it all to pack in. Whenever you do all this regrading, when it's just dry, you really don't pack anything. It's like trying to stomp flour together. It just doesn't hold together, it doesn't pack. You need to have some moisture in here to get it to kind of lock together. So we still got our swale ditch on the side. I cleaned all the gravel that blew into that clean out there, brought it all back on the driveway. And I definitely found the cause of the problem. I think if it wasn't for that culvert up there getting plugged, I don't think we would have had any driveway washout. I think all the water on that side would have made it over here and out into the field and not cross the driveway. I did get this section cleaned up kind of nice where the culvert comes out. Got it all shaped, rounded out. But yeah, if you look inside this culvert, it is just packed full. It's probably, I don't know, a third full of mud and debris. And that's just because this had silted in enough that that water couldn't just come gushing out. It was slowing down inside the pipe and dropping material. So if anybody has any recommendations on a good way to clean out an 8-inch culvert, I know on larger ones I've seen people, they'll take an old tire, put a chain to it, and drag it through, you know, hook it up to a tractor and pull it through the pipe and it'll pull that sludge out. But with an 8-inch pipe, I don't see that working for us. Yeah, I mean, there's big rocks inside there. That's not doing anything. So I think to effectively fix our problem, we either need a bigger culvert or at least get this one cleaned out. Now, I am just as curious as many of you probably are about what is the water level, or what is the depth of this new pond now that it is full. And we're gonna find out. And you may be even more curious as to whether or not I'm gonna fall in out of this kayak. And we're gonna find that out as well. I don't know what you guys think, but I certainly like the color of the pond dye in the ponds. It's, like I mentioned before, certainly a lot better than the muddy brown water that was in here before. So my plan for trying to figure out what our depth is, we were estimating it to be around 6 to 8 feet deep. I'm simply just going to take a tape measure and run it down to the bottom. The problem is the wind is blowing me into shore. I need some way to stay out in the middle. The section we're in right now is the deep hole with all of the blue clay that we took to the upper pond. But somewhere right in here should be about the deepest spot. So right about there, we're hitting bottom, and that's about 6.5 feet deep right there.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're 6'5". You're 6'5".
First time kayaking in the new pond. Well, we got our answer, 6.5 feet deep. And I didn't go in. Anyways, guys, that's about all I've got for today's video. Crazy amount of rain we've had this week. Like I said, over 7 inches of rain, plus then you add another 1/4 inch of rain that we had with some scattered showers today. And it just won't let up. But we got the driveway fixed back up. Lower pond is full. We've got pond dye in both ponds. And we're gonna be ready to start pumping water here shortly. Actually, I believe our solution is in the mail on its way right now. So that'll be coming in a future video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, give me a big thumbs up, click that subscribe button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.